Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymore, king of Comic Town.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, sir. What in the world happened?
This is a 5 release week month, and yet we're still like, bleh, awesome.
Like, all of it. Like, and it's not even like, I mean, we still have what, 3 more weeks to go in this month?
I think, yeah.
Oh my goodness. There were so many books. Okay, let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I put away 4 books without bringing them onto the stage here. Like, content. In fact, I almost feel bad because obviously there's a seminal piece, Detective Comics 1027, that I put back because it's a freaking trade paperback. Like, it is a huge...
No, it legit is. It's square bound.
Yeah.
And it's like 3/8 an inch. Like, it is...
It's a trade.
Yeah.
It's a total trade. But definitely cool to get to that level.
Right.
You know, 1,000 issues of the Batman world type thing, man. That's dope. So... shout out to them, but they didn't make the list because it was just too much. It was too much to read.
Too many pages.
Too many pages. All right. So honorable mention wise, what do we got? We got 2 that are the same, and then I did extra because
yeah, you've got extra credit up there.
I'm sorry.
But the question is Big Girl's extra credit or is X-Men extra credit? Like, which is the one that kind of like snuck in as the 65 seed?
Okay, based on that, I will say X-Men is actually the one that snuck in.
Okay.
X-Men 12. Okay, so here's the thing that's interesting to me. Last issue I picked up randomly. It was a tie-in to Empire, which was cool, but this is really kind of getting back to the central piece of the story.
Yeah.
This is wild. It's sprawling. The new history of mutantdom in the Marvel universe is crazy. Apocalypse as a presumed savior. I mean, it kind of works.
Yeah.
I'm really curious as to where this is going. This is a lot of conversation about things that you can't understand because you haven't seen them before.
Yeah.
And some wild names, but apparently Apocalypse used to be married. He used to have a wife. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
And I couldn't even get a date to my senior prom.
Well, you need 4 horsemen. If you had 4 horsemen, it would have been different.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. But no, this is Hickman, Leinil Yu. It's beautifully drawn, but very kind of dense storytelling stuff. So really looking forward to this though. He's got a grandkid. I didn't realize that's who this person is on the cover. And apparently he's been introduced before because they don't go into this is an introduction. So I don't even know. But it was fun. It was a fun read. It's good newsstand edition.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right. There is a up-and-coming writer that people have been sleeping on, Christopher Cantwell.
Okay.
He's done a little bit of stuff for Dark Horse. He did the most recent Doom series that got super, super delayed because of COVID. But he is being handed the reins of Iron Man.
Come on now.
Right? Got Kafu doing the art. It is...
That looks good.
Gorgeous.
Ooh.
It reminds me a lot of the Extremis story arc. That art in it. Really, really cool. And one of the things that Cantwell is trying to do with this story is kind of have Tony take a step back from all of the gadgetry, all of the technology. He's trying to, especially coming out of what happened with Empire, he's trying to, revisit, am I doing things the right way? Can I do things differently? Am I being too reliant on tech? And so he's working, because he was one of the people that kind of punted that led to the craziness happened.
Completely.
So it's really cool. Cantwell gets Tony Stark.
Right.
And it is just Tony muddling through and not realizing that he has created a situation that is going to bite him in the buttocks.
As Tony is wont to do. And not necessarily on purpose.
Yeah, but it really, really good. It's a double-sized issue. It is $4.99, so for $1 more.
Oh, that's not bad.
You get a double-sized issue.
Yeah.
There's a Patsy Walker Hellcat appearance.
Okay.
You got some bunny slippers, and you've got lightning hitting someone from the sky. So,
ooh.
Yeah.
Now, from what you were flipping through, is there a lot of action in this one? It seems very character-driven.
It is very character-driven. As far as super on super conflict, there is a little bit. It's definitely a tier C villain.
Okay.
But it is very, very character driven. But it is still really, really cool. And I'm a sucker for the old school armor.
You can't go wrong with that. And I almost favor that because I think when you start off where you're showcasing character, this is a story for the long haul, not just oh look, explosions, pew, pew. Not that at all. However, sometimes explosions are amazing. Big Girls 2, Jason Howard, does it all. One man show, really. I think the only thing he doesn't do is lettering, and that's phonographics. I was right. Okay. Concept. There is a thing that makes people grow like gigantic. If it's in boys, though, it's truly a problem because they become monstrous things. In ladies, they become giants, hence the graphic on the back, and are employed to fight against the monstrous boys to keep the preserve safe. We are still world building. Mm-hmm. We get to see other giant ladies. They are amazing, but we get one of the best wrinkles to the world building that we've been told so far towards the end of this book. It is such a perfect showcase of, well, yes, you think you know, but ... Absolutely fantastic. Please pick this book up. This is one of those like low-key ones that I think people are like, I don't know. Read it. I think it's going somewhere brilliantly. It's fun. Please pick it up. Please. Just do yourself a favor. It's only 2 books in.
It feels like a book that could get optioned. Like it really, really does.
Legit.
And then by that point, you're not going to be able to.
Then you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it number 1. But like, no, you're absolutely right. Like I think I would love to see this on Amazon. Maybe AMC might be willing to pony up for this one because I mean you're talking effects. I mean, we're talking like giant-sized ladies knocking over buildings, burning giant monsters, ladies fighting kaiju. Okay, there you go. Make it happen. Okay, what are we talking about?
I was like, like how do we follow that? Because we definitely have 2 books that both are building worlds.
Yes.
One has a more sympathetic character than the other.
Yes.
It's tough.
Let's talk about the number 2 first.
Okay.
Only because we have stuff that we can talk about to build off of. Okay, so so good. 7 Secrets. Tom Taylor, Danielle DeNiculo. Mm-hmm. Okay, I tried. Walter Biamonte. Okay, so what we saw in the last issue. Yeah. There's a world secret organization. There are 7 secrets, and there's a keeper and a holder. Yeah. And it is, ideally speaking, they're a partnership, but never should they touch tips and be all romantical. Mm-hmm. And someone did, and it produced a child. Not the child, but a child. Yep. And now we're following up with the concept of what happens when such a sacred rule is broken, and seeing the offspring therein. It's fast-paced.
Yes, it's very fast-paced.
But it does a really good job of establishing what you need to know despite the flurry of info that it smacks you in the face with.
And it makes you're already attached to the kid.
Right. Like immediately.
Yeah. And that's something that Tom Taylor has just been killing recently is getting you attached to characters, creating that emotional bond that you've got. Because I really, really dig this kid.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. But like, just imagine that you're some kid. You find out that your parents gave you up because they were never supposed to be together.
Right.
And you're actually part of some secret organization and you fit in because of your
lineage, but you're not supposed to. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Beautifully drawn. The energetic action is fantastic. Reminds me of Kari Randolph. Randolph's artwork, which is dope. If you're reading Excellence, you'll definitely like this because, yes, all of the above in terms of amazingness. Okay, between mother and father, who's your pick?
I would not want to anger the mother.
Facts.
Her mother rage was in full. But there's like a real nurturing sort of thing about the dad.
Right?
Like he's giving and caring as much as he's allowed to.
I agree.
And you can tell him fight. He's fighting with himself because he wants to do more.
He totally does, but he knows he's already broken the rules. Yeah. So he's gotten a pass, and he's trying not to waste that pass. But man,
there's that one panel down near the end that really shows you. Like that's where you're looking at that panel.
Yes.
And it after reading issue 2, it makes so much more sense, and the emotional impact
is heavier, right?
So can't talk about it, but when you read it, you'll be like, oh my gosh,
right? Yes, it's so sweet. Speaking of kind of sweet, out of nowhere, oh my god, Stillwater #1, Image, Skybound, Chip Zdarsky, Ramon Perez, Mike Spicer. I didn't know, right? Like I'm just picking this up. It's a #1. Yeah. Chip is a good writer. Like, I have no complaints. Ramon, I remember from there's an interview or like a showcase on Raid Studios, which he's a part of, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to read some more of his work. So, I mean, obviously this is a graphic cover, so it caught the eye.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just read it. I was ill prepared.
Yeah.
The character building is perfect. I mean, like, because literally the story doesn't start for pages in.
Yeah.
But it gets you to where you're understanding who you're dealing with in terms of characters and the nuance and subjectivity of their cool, which is low. You got low cool.
Yeah.
Very low cool.
Yeah, and it is so good. Like the little blurb that I had to order based off as a retailer did not prepare me for what this is.
Right.
There are certain things about this world and the town of Stillwater itself that, like, even though like superficially you're like, okay, this is what's going on. There's a lot that these people aren't talking about.
Right.
Oh my gosh, the scene at the end with is that like that you don't come back.
You
from
don't
that, right?
like at all. Like not even a little bit.
What kind of full thing are they trying to protect? That you're going to go that
far? Like, because I mean, that's a reach. That's definitely a reach. What I will say in terms of comparatives, okay, walk with me on this one. If you are watching Lovecraft Country, there is a similar vibe. Now, it is vastly different, okay, vastly different. But there is like a weird town, something strange, kind of juju, kind of action happening. If you're enjoying that kind of storytelling and you just want more, definitely check out Stillwater. Yeah. And please don't be one of those people that's like, oh, they're biting off of no, because at best maybe they're biting off of the book, but not the show, because the show has only been on like that long, and this clearly took time to make. Yeah. So, but if you like that action, read some more of this. Okay, we've got all three the same up here. Where do you want to start?
I would say that's tough. The fastest read would be Heavy. Once and Future just continues to be awesome. This one, I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Okay, so then I think that's the order that we should go. Let's go Heavy, Once and Future, and the other. Okay. Heavy, Vault Comics. This one, man, Max Bemis, Eric Donovan, Chris Peter, Taylor Esposito. Conception, like, I'm looking at the cover and I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely want to read that.
Yeah, is it an avenging angel?
Right?
Like, no.
I flip it over to the back and I read the little blurb and I'm like, I am gonna read this. I'm gonna read this so good. I'm gonna read this right now. Okay. So your understanding of the afterlife is very much so either or.
Yeah.
What if it ain't? What if you are a more moderate living person, you have to do a little bit more before you get judged, either, good or bad. What sort of work could you get into? Man, this is some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Because it takes that purgatory-ish sort of thing, like, okay, you got to work, you got to do some effort to like work, but then mixes in like a black science, like multiverse kind of thing.
It's amazing.
And it's just, all right. It says right on the back.
It does. It's not a spoiler if you read it. It says, welcome to the big wait, where folks who don't quite make the cut to go to work off their debt. Now you're like, make what cut? What are you talking about? Everyone in the wait's got a job. Bill is a heavy, whose job is policing the multiverse, making sure bad eggs get what's coming to them. He's on track to earn his climb and reunite with the woman he loves until he meets his new partner, the worst dude of all time. That is an undersell.
That is
such an undersell.
It's so amazing. All right. So Heavy is like a policeman, a hitman, and in the multiverse, there are different versions of people.
Yes.
So like there's a universe out there where there's a version of me with long hair and I'm happy. And then this dude has to show up and smoke me
because that's not allowed.
Right. And so like it is awesome. The person that they send him after in this one.
Oh my God.
I was not prepared to see
all of. Not prepared at all.
Holy crap. It is funny It is over the top. The art is gorgeous. You see too much of that one dude.
So I literally want to send a copy of this to Ren. In fact, I might have to hit up Donovan and ask Eric if this page is available for sale, because so Ren, artist on the Samaritan, definitely check it out, hates feet. So this little conversation here, his birthday's coming up. I might have to send that to him.
Even like the worst. Like
it's really not. Oh God, it's really not.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You definitely want to check it out.
Yes.
If you don't, you're missing out on some good stuff.
Once and Future, number 11. Karen Gillan, Dan Mora, Tamara Bond-Villain. Okay. Was doing research on storytelling, fun things like that. Big fan of this guy. His name is Brian McDonald. And he talks about how stories are survival materials, things that you tell in order to survive. It could also get you killed, apparently. If you don't know when to stop, stuff gets crazy.
Yeah.
It gets crazy. That's almost all I could say, and even that was almost a spoiler.
Yeah.
Like almost it. Okay, what can I say? What else?
All right. So people have. All right. If you're not familiar with Once and Future, there is a professor and his grandmother.
Yes.
The thought process was the grandmother was something. Her mental faculties were wearing away with age. But in reality, she and him, by extension of her, are part of a group that protects the rest of us from mythic monsters, from King Arthur,
right?
Grendel, Beowulf, from all those stories and epic poems are real. There's a shadow realm, and they protect us from it. So in the most recent few issues, it had been Grendel and Beowulf they're fighting. Beowulf has been dispatched. Now it's Grendel. It's Gran versus Grendel, and
amazing.
It's
amazing.
But
it's just getting started.
Yeah.
It's just getting started. Like I don't know.
Like I wish this was a special 1 for 50 variant.
Oh
cover.
my God!
Because I totally would.
Maybe on the second printing, because this is gonna sell out.
Yeah, it's gonna
definitely gonna sell out. Okay. Who? Nope, that's a spoiler. I can't say it. Dang it!
Oh my gosh. Looks like Jabba the Hutt and Drag.
That's really kind to Jabba, actually. That's scary.
It's
so very scary. I don't like the look of it, but oh my goodness. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
A lot of blood,
Lots
a lot of
it.
monster.
Man.
A lot of Gran.
Not a lot of survivors though.
Not really, no.
Yeah, no, not really at all. Gran is my hero, man. Like
she really is.
I mean, in a fist fight, like there's very few people that I think can really go toe to toe with her. She looks like Leslie Thompson, but fights like Batman.
Yeah.
And you know what? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Gran is old Harley from Batman Return of the Joker. Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Gran is old Harley. That's
yes.
That's who that is. And dang it if it ain't sweet. Such a good read. Such a good read. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Giant Size X-Men, Storm, number 1. Hickman, Dodderman, Wilson. You seem to be conflicted about this.
It was weird. Like, really weird.
So, it starts off with a revelation that I didn't know about. Is that something that's happened in, like, maybe Marauders or something like that? Something has happened, and I don't want to spoil it, but Storm has a condition that I was not aware of. And considering the format setup of what Hickman's X-Men run is, it does kind of beg a really weird question.
Yeah.
And
like, why worry?
Right. Like, I guess they attempt to answer it, but even the answer seems to beget more trouble than it's worth. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So that's not just
that was part of my Like what?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like this book only works because Wolverine's not there. Because if Wolverine's there, he's like, oh yeah, I solve it, snicked, and we're fine now, right? Like it's good, And I think it would be justifiable too. Like even though there's laws where you're like, no, you're not supposed to do it. He's like, look, would you want the alternative? Like, no, you wouldn't want that. So let's do this. And I don't know. I mean, okay, so cast wise though, if this was a squad, I would read that book. Yeah. I would definitely read that book. We've got M, we've got Phantom X, we've got Cypher. Cypher obviously still has Warlock on him. Yep. Yeah.
Probably the most cheerful and outgoing AIM agent I've ever met. Like,
I need a series with him and the guy from Hydra.
Agent Bob.
Yes. Yeah. Like I need them to know each other in some way, shape, or form. But like not necessarily know that each are a part of this separate organization. Yeah. I need it to be like that. But yeah, man, like there's like I feel like the way this story by design is set up, it's going to create far more trouble. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about it where I'm just like, but you really could have just solved this simply.
Yeah.
And I think that a character like Storm would have been fine with that as a solution.
Yeah.
Like, she's got more gravitas than that. Like,
yeah.
And it's an interesting one.
And I feel like the place they go has more to offer, or like with Hickman, it's going to come back up at some point down the line.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know. It was fun, but
definitely fun, but there's still something about it from a narrative standpoint that seems incomplete. And I know that this is number one. I don't know if this is going to be like a mini series or if this is just like a moment and then they're going to pick up in the main storyline. But yeah, it just seems like once you read this, and I definitely want to hear your response to it. I want to know your thoughts on, are we reading into this too weirdly, or
is it just a fun one shot?
Yeah, like
we should just be like, oh, cool.
That
was an entertaining.
Yay for Storm. So yeah, definitely let us know your thoughts on that, because that's my question mark, my curiosity on that one. Overall, though, I mean, good reads. I mean, if the worst thing that we have is like, I wonder why they told this story. That's really a good
problem to have.
Yeah, like totally great problem. Obviously, if this is your first time checking us out, we hope that you liked it, and you can show us so by clicking that like button, because we like that.
Yep.
And if you want to get this goodness brought to your doorstep every week, subscribe.
The bell.
Yeah.
The bell. Click it. Yeah. That'll let you know, hey, there's a new video.
Every week. Dropping your DMs with the sexy. Yeah. All of this sexy. You see it. Yeah. That's right.
It's not bad if you're blind.
It's funnier, though. It's definitely funnier.
I'm ugly.
You're not. Stop saying that. Terrible. You better be smiling.